I have shipped hundreds of items internationally using the eBay International Shipping Program, and I have never had an issue with a buyer until this week. It all started when I accepted a lowball offer on a jacket. I had the jacket listed for $160 and I took a $100 offer. I normally wouldn't have done this. However, I saw it was coming through the eBay International Program, and I know that with that program comes better seller protections, or at least so I thought. I accepted the offer and I thought that the buyer would pay in somewhat reasonable time. However, this was the first red flag. This buyer did not pay until the final day where I could cancel the order. And every single day I sent him a message reminding him that he needed to pay and that I would ship the item out. Now I do this no matter what. If you have agreed to purchase an item from me and it is being tied up in your cart and you have not paid for it, I am sending you a message every single day reminding you that you have to pay for this item. Rent is due and you're going to pay today. Now normally when I do this, one of three things happens. Either one, the buyer will just pay for the item and then I ship the item out. Two, the buyer gets the message, sends me a message back saying, hey, I'm going to pay on Tuesday or I'm going to pay on Wednesday, whatever day, because they're just waiting to get their paycheck or whatever, but there's usually some kind of communication. Or three, the buyer just does not pay for the item. It goes through the 4 days that they have to pay for it, and then I cancel the order on the fourth day. This was an interesting case because this buyer did not fit the narrative of any of these three things. This buyer did not respond to me, and on the fourth day, he finally just went ahead and paid for the item without saying anything. And then he immediately sent me a message saying, please adjust the invoice to show the correct purchase price, thanks. And of course, I'm thinking to myself, of course this guy's worried about it coming through customs and he's going to have to pay a little extra because I put some wrong invoice in there. This buyer seems very price sensitive, so of course he's going to be worried about this. He just completely ignored the fact that I was pestering him for the last 4 days. But I keep it professional and I just say the correct information will be provided. Now, these red flags tell me that this buyer could be an issue moving forward, but I don't think much of it. I pack his item and I ship it out just as I would with any other order. However, soon after he gets it, he sends me a message and it says, I've received the jacket today, but it is disappointingly, it's a women's size large, not a men's size large, as was listed and sent to me. I wish to return this item for a refund as it is unusable to me. A return cannot be done until the 18th of February, but I will ask eBay to step in and assist me in the return. Now keep in mind that this buyer paid $94 to have this item shipped to him in Australia. So immediately I start getting concerned. Am I going to have to pay $94 to have this item sent back to me and issue him a return? Am I going to get stuck just issuing this buyer a return because I don't want to pay for this item to come all the way back from Australia? Also, by the way, this item is a men's large unless the company that manufactured it put the wrong tag on the item and put the wrong style code on the item. This is a men's large. So I'm thinking to myself, what do I do? So quickly I respond back to the buyer and I say, hey, what makes you think this is a women's large? Because maybe he knows something I don't know. And he simply tells me that it has to be a women's large because he wears a men's large and this does not fit him. Yeah. So I guess the factory got it wrong. The measurements I provided in the photos were wrong. I guess you didn't look at any of that. Maybe you put on a little extra weight there. I don't know. But either way, I know this buyer is going to open a return request and there's going to be some outcome. And I'm hoping eBay is going to have my back. So will eBay step in and help me with this return? I think the answer is going to surprise you, but before we get into that, let's break down what eBay International Shipping is, how it works, and whether it's even worth using in the first place. So now, a quick disclaimer. These are going to be my actual opinions about the eBay International Shipping program. There are a lot of content creators out there that create content around the eBay International Shipping program. Realize that a lot of these people are paid by eBay to put out positive information about the eBay International Shipping program. There's two things eBay is currently paying content creators for, and it's eBay labels and it's eBay International Shipping program. eBay wants sellers to use these programs because eBay makes a good amount of money on these programs. However, I am not sponsored by eBay, so I am going to give you my actual honest opinion on these. So the first question is, why would you want to sell internationally anyways? One of the easiest ways to grow any company is to expand your market. That's why McDonald's exists everywhere. because once you've maxed out a market, the easiest way to gain more customers and more sales is to expand into another market. And companies go to great lengths to expand into other countries and other markets in order to grow. And your eBay store is no different. Why only sell to people in your country if you can reach a worldwide market? More customers, more eyes on your product means more sales, which means more profit for you. eBay says 1 out of every 9 sales on their platform is an international sale. So it's pretty obvious that you don't want to miss out on these potential customers. If you're going to sell internationally on eBay, you have 2 options. The first option is to do everything on your own, and the second option is to enroll in the eBay International Shipping Program. Now, if you go with the first option and you decide to do everything on your own, you're going to have to take all the responsibility. You're going to have to find the shipping providers that ship into these countries. You're going to have to fill out the customs paperwork. You're going to have to handle the returns and item not received cases. You're going to be responsible for everything with that order and with shipping that order internationally. Now, if you choose to go with the eBay International Shipping Program, eBay is going to handle almost everything for you. So all you're going to have to do is ship to a distribution hub within the United States, and then eBay is going to handle the rest of the transaction for you. And that includes giving you some awesome seller protections, which include protecting you from negative feedback and handling item not received cases and return requests, including item not as described return requests. So if you ship using the eBay International Shipping Program, you no longer have to worry about customs and tariffs and taxes and finding a shipping provider and items getting lost in the mail and items arriving broken or item not received cases. All of that will now be handled by eBay. So you might be thinking, if eBay is willing to handle everything, why would you ever go and find your own shipping providers? And the answer is simple. eBay charges the customer a lot of money for this convenience. So eBay takes on all the risk and the extra legwork involved in finding shipping providers, handling the returns, and filling out all the paperwork and making sure everything goes correctly. So this is very expensive for your buyer. So you are going to lose out on sales because buyers are going to look at your items if you're using the eBay International Shipping Program and say, wow, that costs a lot to have it shipped to my country. It will be cheaper if you go and do all this on your own. You can find providers that will ship things into other countries and it will be much cheaper. However, now you take on all the risk. I personally don't have any experience doing this, so I can't say one way or the other, but to me, it's not worth the hassle to try to save my customer a few dollars by going through all these extra steps and taking on all this extra risk at the possibility of someone in another country buying my item because my item's being shipped directly versus going through the eBay International Shipping Program where it goes to a hub and then they get charged even more money to have it shipped to them. However, a lot of these buyers are very smart and they have figured out some workarounds so that they don't have to pay the eBay International Shipping prices and can still get the items delivered to them in their respective countries. If you guys are enjoying this video, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It's really going to help me out. I have a lot of great content that's coming up soon that you're not going to want to miss. So there are a lot of buyers that have found a workaround to the eBay International Shipping Program, and it's called freight forwarders. So with these buyers, what they do is they hire an outside company that's based here in the United States to collect all of their packages, repack it into one package, and then ship it to them where they are in their country. Typically, these are Asian customers, and they're going to have the items shipped to an address in Oregon. If you're shipping an item to a customer who has their eBay account in another country, and they're having you ship the item to a location in Oregon, chances are that it's going to a freight forwarder. What happens here is you're going to ship your item just as you normally would to this address. That company is going to collect all their packages. They might be buying from multiple different people on eBay and even other platforms. They're going to consolidate all the packages and ship one package to that customer so that they only have to pay once for the shipping. Where if they were to buy multiple things on the eBay platform from multiple different sellers, they're going to have to pay the eBay International Shipping for each package that they buy. This saves them a lot of money. I have never had an issue with these buyers, and chances are you're not going to either. What happens is these items are going to sit at a warehouse somewhere in Oregon for a while, and then they're going to get repackaged up and they're going to get shipped overseas. You're not even going to know that it got shipped overseas. If you're really curious, the easiest way to do this is just to search the address that you're shipping to. It usually come up to a company that is related to some website that does freight forwarding. Most likely, these customers are never going to open a return because by the time it gets shipped to Oregon, it sits inside an Oregon warehouse, it gets repackaged, and it gets shipped to them wherever they're located at. It's going to be past the return window anyways. In order for them to ship it back to you, they're going to have to pay that shipping from their country back to the United States, because remember, as far as eBay is concerned, you've only shipped it in the United States, so you're not going to have to pay that return shipping from that further away distance. Most of these transactions are nothing to worry about. And also, under seller protections, we are protected if a buyer uses a freight forwarder. And the reason behind this is if a freight forwarder repacks the item and breaks it, or gets the item and loses it, we need to be protected because we did our job and the freight forwarder is the one that messed up. So if you do end up having an issue with this, you can contact eBay and let them know that your package went to a freight forwarder. They can look into it, and that buyer will actually lose their money back guarantee because it's against eBay's terms of service. I think it's super cool to ship stuff internationally. I think it's really neat that I can go out to a local thrift store here in Utah or a yard sale and find an item and then ship it across the world to another country and make a buyer happy. However, the one downfall to this is that these customers seem to be a little more price sensitive than other customer groups. These customers are paying a lot to have these items shipped overseas, and they're not going to buy these items unless they're a great deal. They're going to find items within their own country if they're not getting the deal that they need. So a lot of times I find that these customers are the ones that send me really low offers, and I look and I can see that it's coming through the eBay International Shipping Program. And if it's within my margins and I'm able to do it and still make money, I usually accept these offers because we have awesome seller protections. On eBay, when you sell to an international customer, you no longer have to worry about the item. Once the item has arrived at that eBay distribution hub, your hands are off the item and you don't have to worry about returns or customer service or anything. So to me, the little bit of discount that I offer these buyers is usually worth it because they have to pay a lot in shipping. So by me discounting it a little bit, it helps them purchase it and it helps me because it's one less customer that I'm going to have to deal with in the future. So what are the seller protections for selling in the eBay International Shipping Program? Well, they're quite simple. Basically, as long as you ship the item that you say you're selling to the eBay hub and eBay marks it as received, you are covered. There is no chance that you are going to get that item back. There is no chance that you're going to get negative feedback from that customer, and there is no problems moving forward. The protections include things such as items not as described. So if you sent the wrong item to a customer by accident and eBay doesn't catch it and that buyer opens up an INAD, or if that buyer just opened up an INAD because they don't want the item, you are now protected. You don't have to issue a refund. You don't have to answer their customer questions. eBay is going to handle all of it. eBay will typically have that customer ship that item to another hub in their country, and eBay consolidates all of these returns, and then eBay auctions these off, and these items will hit the resale market once again. You might be thinking that eBay is taking on a lot of risk to handle these packages being shipped overseas. And why are they doing that? Well, the simple reason is, once again, just like us, they can reach more customers and they can grow. If eBay is already maxed out the market within your home country, they want to use other countries' markets and be able to sell to them. Currently, eBay is taking on a lot of risk by doing this. I don't know that moving forward, eBay is always going to have this cut and dry policy of where as long as the item reaches their hub, they're going to cover you 100%. But currently, right now, this is a great deal for most sellers. You might be thinking, how much money does eBay charge these customers for this amazing service? Well, it's a lot. And if you want to know exactly how much a buyer paid for the eBay International Shipping Program. The only way I've found to see it is to go into the order, and at the top there's going to be a section that says print packing slip. This is the only place that I've actually seen where it shows how much the buyer actually paid. If you look at your order details and stuff, it's going to show the shipping that they paid you to ship it to the hub, but it's not going to show all the actual fees. If you go to this print packing slip, you'll actually be able to see how much your customer has paid. It's crazy because even that guy that bought the jacket from me for $100, he actually paid $94 to eBay to have it shipped to his home country. He also paid me $20 to have that item shipped to the eBay hub. So he paid $110 to have that item shipped to him, and that's why these customers seem to be so price sensitive. So in my honest opinion, is the eBay International Shipping Program worth it? Yes, absolutely. Like if you're not currently enrolled in the eBay International Shipping Program, I highly suggest that you go enroll right now. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to show you exactly how to go enroll in this program. This program is amazing. It's an amazing opportunity to be able to ship items all around the world without any of the hassle of shipping items all around the world. And to be perfectly honest, it's even better than selling items in your home country. Because if I had sold that jacket to someone here in America and they had gotten it and they didn't want it because it didn't fit, and they opened up an INAD saying that this item isn't actually a men's jacket, even though it clearly was, if they lie about it and they say that, eBay's going to force that return. I'm going to have to pay shipping both ways and get that item back. With this program, it was really, really simple. So what happened was that the buyer had reached out and sent me that message. We communicated. He told me that it didn't fit him or whatever. I said, okay, no problem. I saw shortly after that, I had gotten a message on eBay saying, your buyer wants to return this item. I went and immediately clicked on that message to pull up to see what it said, and it wouldn't even let me access the return information. All it said was, we're handling this return on your behalf as part of eBay International Shipping. You don't need to do anything else and won't be responsible for this refund. This happened automatically. Like I didn't have to call eBay and fight with eBay and say, hey, look at my seller protections. I need this, removed. I need you guys to help me here. I didn't have to do anything. I literally couldn't even access the return information. I couldn't see the reason he put. I couldn't see the photos. I couldn't see anything. It said that the buyer wanted to return the item. I clicked it. It gave me that message, and that was the end of it. I don't have to wait for that item to come back. I get to keep the money. eBay's going to get that item. They're going to resell it somewhere else, and everyone is happy at the end of the day. However, I do think that if you start selling a lot of items internationally and you're getting a lot of international returns, eBay might throttle your listings. So you still want to offer great customer service. You still want to send the correct items. You still want to describe items as they are, because you don't want to lose this great opportunity. So if you want to enroll on eBay International Shipping, it is super easy to do. The first thing you're going to do is log on to eBay and go to your seller hub. Once you're at your seller hub, you're going to go under orders, and then on the left-hand navigation there, you're going to see settings and shipping preferences. You click on shipping preferences, it's going to bring up your shipping preferences, and there's going to be a section right at the top that says eBay International Shipping. It's going to give you your status enrolled or not enrolled, and over on the right there, it's going to have actions, and you can click opt in or opt out. I highly recommend that if you're not currently selling internationally, to go ahead and opt into this. I don't really see any downsides to this program. eBay covered me 100% on this transaction, and I can't recommend this program enough. If you've enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy this one, so go ahead and give it a click.